Valentine's Day is just 2 days away. It's very appropriate that Jeffrey should be speaking about Happy Valentine's Day. And it is quite a challenging time of year. And I believe that Jeffrey plans to help us through this difficult process of finding out exactly what we need to do and how we need to deal with Happy Valentine's Day. So again, Jeffrey will be speaking on that topic. So please join us in welcoming Jeffrey Purtee.
February 14th, 1993, my 10th year anniversary. Absolutely disgusted at the fact that 3 weeks before Valentine's Day, the price of roses doubles. I decided I, in my frugal accountant's heart, was going to save some money, but still hit that romantic note. So I got a dozen orchids and a dozen other miscellaneous flowers. It was a huge display. Got a nice little card. My wife comes home from work. She takes one look and says, "So, Jeffrey, I guess after 10 years of marriage, I'm no longer worth roses." I still cringe when I remember that moment. And you probably think to yourself, "I'll bet you learned your lesson that time, didn't you?" Well, only for a little while. Flash forward to 1999. I like to close out the millennium on a high note. This time, I'm disgusted because the price of roses about 3 weeks before Valentine's Day pretty much triples where it stands today. Deciding that I had to have roses, but I was not willing to take out a second mortgage on the house to buy them, I decided that maybe a lovely display of 3 red roses in a vase, nice cards, some candy, would hit just the right romantic note. Once again, I leave the display on the bar. Here she comes home. I'm ready for the adulation that I know will be mine. She takes one look, she looks at me and goes, "So, I guess I'm only a 3-rose wife to you." I still cringe when I think of that. Gentlemen, the answer on Valentine's Day is simple. It's a dozen roses. Learn from my mistakes. You have to get them a dozen roses. I don't care if you have to take out a second mortgage. Get a second loan on the car, which you probably will. I've already placed my rose order for this year, and I fainted, actually. That's what happened. A big thumb. I fainted when I placed the order, but it's a dozen roses. Now, here's another tip if you really want to get in good. If your wife works, make sure you send them to her place of work. Why? So that all her girlfriends can be mad with jealousy and what a romantic guy you really are. There are many other traps on Valentine's Day. I refer, of course, to the present trap. Let me share with you some of my great adventures in the present trap. One year, I decided, because it had broken 3 weeks prior, the ideal Valentine's Day gift for my wife was a new blender. Do guys have to do this? I mean, do we all have to go through the same steps and learn the hard way? Apparently that is the case. This did not get me in well. In fact, if I recall correctly, that was about a 3-week sleeping on the couch incident. You probably think, "Oh, you've learned your lesson." Well, as with the roses, the answer is only for a short time. Because approximately 4 years after that, we had another incident where we had a very important household item break. This was about 3 weeks before Valentine's Day. That year I decided the perfect Valentine's present for my wife was a brand new, high-end Hoover vacuum cleaner. It was a Hoover! Come on! Like $220. Wouldn't you like that? I would like it. My wife Tamara did not like it. She didn't like it. That cost me a month on the couch. Hoover vacuum cleaner, that's a big mistake. And you're probably thinking, probably doesn't get much worse, does it? Oh yes, we've only just begun. Because one year, I created the sin of all sins. I got her a present that I really wanted myself. Yes, when she came home for Valentine's Day, now I did have the dozen roses that year, but as a present, I had set up a brand new, high-end Harman Kardon stereo system. Just what every wife wants, right? Wrong! She actually wanted me to take that one back. I didn't want to take the stereo back. So we went out the next day with a really big budget and said, honey, whatever you want. You just tell me where to go. And we went to a jewelry store and we spent a lot more on jewelry than we did on the Harman Kardon stereo. So the answer to that is simple. When it comes time for a present for Valentine's Day, gentlemen, you want to get something romantic, something sweet, something lovely, something that you would never buy in your wildest dreams for yourself. Here's a tip. If after you've bought that present, you're sitting there looking at it and going, yeah, I think this is nice. No, it's not, because you like it means that you selected wrong. It's got to be something so impractical, so ridiculously overpriced, so romantic and pretty that you would never in your wildest dreams think of buying this thing. And you're right on. The final item I want to caution you on Valentine's Day is the traditional Valentine's Day dinner. Here's a tip. Denny's is not right. I did Denny's once year. Yes, you're probably thinking, is this guy bright enough to actually tie his shoes in the morning? Well, believe it or not, I am. Really. I just take a long time to learn these lessons. On Valentine's Day, you have to take them to some place that probably is going to cost you almost what you spent for your roses. We are lucky in Reno, actually. We have a lot of fine restaurants, very romantic places. You got to get your reservations in early on Valentine's because those restaurants are going to be full. So get those reservations in. Charlie Palmer's Steakhouse, Chi at the Peppermill, any place other than Denny's, Sparky's, Burger Joint, any place that serves beer in a mug, that's probably not the right place to go. Think romantic, think high-end, think putting on a tie. If you follow these tips and ignore all the things I've done in my life, I can assure you, you will finally have the Valentine's Day you've always wanted.